about life. Life is a simple word, isn't it? But it contains so much and it's spelled too much. Like when you say, "This is my life," you would think that one sentence alone contains so many things and spelled so many things. Well, I am here to depict to you an example of that sentence that I just said. And I'm gonna call this depiction the life of a human. Me.
A few moments later.
Okay, before getting to know me, I want to know your first impression of me. Okay, well, since you can't really answer that, so I'll just guess, okay? The first word that comes into your mind probably is fat. And please do not feel sorry for that, because the word fat itself is not a bad word. People just made it a bad word by mocking people that has that shape of a body with that word, as if that word is such like a demeaning word when it's not. People uses it to mock, to demean, to degrade, and to hurt someone. And so please don't use it in a bad way. It's okay if you want to use it to describe one's body, but please do not use it to hurt someone. So we've talked about your first impression of me. Let's talk about who I really am as a person and what you guys can see in me from your first impression of me. Okay, so I have a confession to make. So I am diagnosed with bipolar type 2, borderline personality disorder, and I also have traits of histrionic personality disorder. Well, I'm sure you guys must be wondering, right? Like, how did I get here, there? Like, how do I get those three mental disorders, right? When I'm literally only 18 years old right now. And here, as I said before, I'm gonna talk about life. I'm gonna talk about the cycle of life, which is mine. So maybe you guys can see something in it.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
And now let's talk about my childhood. You know, when I was a child, I had some achievements. Like when I was 5, I won a fashion show competition, and then I went to one, well, actually two, but the first one failed because of a problem, and then the second one I didn't win, but it's still something, right? And I stayed at the top 5 ranks of the smartest kids in the class throughout my elementary school. But underneath all of that, I was dealing with my parents' divorce when I was 6 and the barely there presence of my birth father, even before and after my parents' divorce. And I was also struggling to find friends. And when I found some, I find myself trying to fit in with them by changing myself bits by bits.
Later that same evening.
Growing up, I was scared that my friends would leave me, so I would do anything for them. And I was developing these thoughts that if I was in a position of power, such as I was the leader of a friend group, even though it's just like literally just little children's friend group, I would be safe and no one would leave me. And when I was a child, I moved a lot, so I always have to socialize to make new friends. And I would do literally anything so people would accept me as their friends. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but the truth is, I was starting to train myself to be perfect for everyone else in this world so that they would not leave me. And as time went on, I had so many toxic relationships. My house is a big mess, my friendships is a big mess, my romantic relationships is a big mess. And I also watched my mother go through 3 marriages and then 3 divorces. And I was also heavily abused both physically and verbally. When I reached into the middle school, I started to isolate myself. And it's not because it was the COVID at that time, because after the quarantine ended, I'm still isolating myself due to my paranoia and delusion that somehow I was a threat to everyone else around me if I wasn't good enough for them, if I wasn't perfect enough for them, and that I'm bad and I'm something that's not even worth to look at. Back then, I have no one. I have no friends at all. Well, I have one, but she hurts me, and it ended badly. And besides that, I have no one. But looking back at that time, my classmate was actually very nice towards me because they tried to reach out to me. They know that I'm suffering, but I was so deep into my own delusion that I can even see that they are trying to help, and I am seeing it as if like they are forced to help me.
Tomorrow.
Teenager and reaching adulthood. Okay, so I started to socialize myself slowly and find some friends. But it quickly ended because, well, my classmate turns out talks about me behind me, about my weight, and about how I ask questions a lot and how I flex myself to be able because I'm able to speak English. And but yeah, they also very cynical to me when it comes to my weight. And but it ended because I confronted one of them. But well, my little sister told my whole class that I have mental disorders, and it was well, yeah. But then, I'm now in the 11th grade. Back then, it was at the 10th grade. Right now, it started happening again. But yeah, I was already distancing myself from my class. And yeah, I got hospitalized 4 times in psych ward. And yes, I'm only 18 years old. Because, well, to be honest, living with both BPD and bipolar is a literal hell. Because everything that I'm feeling is at the extremist way possible.
Eventually.
But I have to be honest with you guys because the truth is I'm a stubborn, determined, ambitious bastard because I have not given up. I'm still here. But I am admitting that my life is so hard. My life is so hard because there's like so many other things that I haven't mentioned in this video that happened in my life, but I'm still here. But I did not say that because I'm still here, I'm not suffering anymore because I am right now so very much suffering. But I'm still here because I have this will, this determination that I want to be proud of myself someday. Really feeling that I am proud of myself because it is so rarely for me to be feeling that feeling about myself because mostly the feeling that I have of myself about myself is mostly bad things. But I'm still here because I'm very stubborn. And in this high school, so far, I have reached so much. I'm currently the vice president of English Club, my English club. Yeah, and then I also won two competition from my school. The first one, news anchor in English. The second one, news reading in French. The first one, I made the news myself and then spoke it out loud. And I also went to several competition, the big competition. I didn't win, but it's still something, right? And I got so many certificates. So yeah, I wanted to tell you that please don't give up. I know everything is so hard. Breathing feels like choking, talking feels like drowning. I understand it perfectly. But I want you to be able to see yourself someday in the mirror and feel that I did it. I want you to be able to feel that way because I also want to myself to feel that way. Even though I know it's very hard and I'm not forcing you to do it at once. It's okay if you want to rest day by day, months by months, or even years because I know things are hard. I have been depressed my whole life and everything are so hard. It's okay if you wanted to take it as slow as you can, but please, please stay. I want you to be able to feel the proudness that you want to feel. I want you to be able to achieve things that you want to achieve. And I want you to be able to look back to your suffering and feel like, well, damn, who was that? Or maybe just feeling like, damn, I'm here now and I did it. So please fight for yourself. Thank you for always fighting. Thank you.